were a bit raunchy and raucous.
We kept you on a really short leash.
Nice to be on someone's leash sometimes.
I was gonna say, with that hair, you better play an instrument. It is so rock and roll. I love it.
I think she's a they. That didn't come out right. Can you do this for, a donut?
People would do anything for a t-shirt.
That's like genius.
Lady Hall, lovely to have you.
Hello.
Hi. Nice to see you both.
Pretty excited.
So I was saying, I cannot say enough how much I love your book cover. It's so creative. It makes you want to pick it up and say, what is this? What's this book about?
Immediately.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that was really important to me. And my lovely friend Fiona designed it for me. She had a very kind of rough brief, which was make it look kind of like it's from the 90s.
Yes.
And that was all I kind of said. And she came back with the idea of the cassette and the highlighter on the font and the little stickers, and I just fell in love with it straight away. So she did a wonderful job. And
it's so important. It's so important because, like, I know you've been published before, like poetry, like short stories, I think too, right?
That's right. Yeah. Bits and pieces in other people's books, right?
Yeah, this is your own book.
I know.
Oh wow, that's exciting. That's so exciting.
Very. And to have that cover nailed on the first time out, come on, man.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's really funny because book covers are important. They tell the story in an image, and what's the saying? An image or a picture paints a thousand words, and I think it's really true, and it can be the difference between someone picking it up or opening it, or downloading it, or not. So it was important to get that right, and it also captures, like, it's set in the 90s, so I wanted it to have a really strong 90s vibe, and it's got the background of the caravans and the holiday park and all the little kind of nods to what happens or moments in the book, and it's I'm really pleased with it.
Excellent. Totally nailed it. Tell us just a little bit about what it's about and where you got the inspiration from.
Yeah, so it's a coming of age story, which I knew I always wanted to write as my first book, but I didn't know how I was going to write that, and unless I previously thought I write my own story. But this is not my story. It's not in any way autobiographical, and I think that made it easier to write in a way. So it's about this 16-year-old girl called Robyn. And she's been through a very tough time at home. Her mum has been very unwell with mental ill health and has attempted suicide, which we find out, very early on in the book. And their dad's a bit fraught into how to look after Robyn and her sister, so he sends them away to stay with his mum, their grandma, who in the summer holidays lives in a holiday park in a caravan, and they haven't seen their grandma very much. They don't know her very well, so they're going to this kind of alien place. Their lives have been in chaos and turmoil, and Robyn thinks that it's her fault that her mum is ill. So she has this mission of wanting to find a boyfriend because she thinks her mum catching her kissing another girl is why her mum is ill. So she sets on this mission of, right, I'm going away, I'm going to find a boyfriend, and that will make everything better. And then within about, 10 minutes of being at the holiday park, it all goes awry because as their grandmother's showing them around, they go into the swimming pool area and she finds this lifeguard who's this Australian, 19-year-old student, gorgeous, called Autumn, and it's love at first sight for Robyn. So she has this mission of wanting to find a boyfriend, and then immediately
there goes that plan.
immediately has a crush on this hot student lifeguard. So it's about that conflict them becoming friends, and the kind of Autumn's this really cool, funny, very sarcastic sense of humor, and she's always teasing Robyn as they get to know each other. And Autumn sees the truth. She sees who Robyn really is, while Robyn's denying it for herself. So it's kind of their journey, of how their relationship unfolds despite all of these other things going on, and Robyn holding a lot of that inside of herself as well. She's got this guilt feeling. She knows she's messed up her GCSEs, her big exams, and she doesn't know how all of that's going to resolve. And as she gets to know her grandma, and Autumn and other people kind of at the holiday park, some of the answers start to become clear.
Oh, this is so sweet. I love the story.
That. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So did you get this is totally fiction? This is you created a story.
All of it. But it's kind of, there are like very small elements are based on like real life, my childhood. So when we were really little, like 5 or 6, we used to go on holiday at this caravan park in Essex. So I definitely had like that setting in mind, although I've transported it to Devon. I had the location quite clear in my head. I have a little sister, and then the funniest story for me is the bit that's the most true is there's a scene where the grandma dresses up the little sister for a fancy dress costume competition, and my mum did this to me, and she dresses the sister in like an all white like leggings and vest and a pink swimming cap to look like a matchstick.
Oh, I love that.
And so that's like taken from my real life.
Yeah.
But, very out of context and whatnot. So the kind of small things are definitely drawn from real life, but it's
Sorry.
Bruce or Molly.
Yeah. Every Wednesday without fail. So this is the funny thing is that like and JD, you'll appreciate this. I've been to a caravan park now. Like I feel like so British because of it. Because it's not really something like we Americans do. It's like you camp or you rent a trailer or whatever and park up.
Right.
But the sense of community at a caravan park is quite interesting. Like we went when Lucy and Mandy Burton were on holiday, and that's what they were doing. They were at a caravan park, and I went, and it was, the first time that I had ever really been. And you basically kind of pack up your life, to go to a different setting and then use a communal bathroom.
I think it's not good.
It's very British. It's a very British thing.
Yeah.
No, caravan park, holiday park is like a trail, not really like a trailer park, kind of, right? Not
like an Airstream park is the best.
But with facilities like a swimming pool and like a bit like Camp of America, but
right
with trailers. Yeah,
camper, right? Camper.
Yeah.
I'd have to have the kind of camper with my own bathroom. Do they have?
Of course you do. I agree. I'm the same way. But Katie, now I know this because you are also my cat sitter, and when I come back, my algorithm has Neighbours, has the show Neighbours front and center, and I'm like, that's how you know that Katie was here, because Neighbours front and center. So tell JD a little bit about Neighbours, your obsession with it, what it is, all that.
I shall, and how it fits in the book. So it's an Australian daily soap that started in 1985 and came over to the UK in 1986. So I started watching it when I was like 6 and a half. And I've watched it every day since I was, so for nearly 40 years. And in the late 80s, early 90s, it was a staple for every school kid. in the UK. So we all watched it. We all went to school and talked about it the next day. And there were some huge episodes. So Kylie Minogue was in it, and her character got married, and 20 million people in the UK watched the episode that night. And this is
Oh
obviously
my God.
before streaming, so this is, live. So it was huge.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just about still going, although I think it's going to end later this year. But so for a lot of us, it's really our childhood watching the show. It's a huge, although it's Australian, it's a huge part of British culture. And a lot of babies apparently could hear the soundtrack, the theme song in the womb, and could like recognized it when, when they were born. And lots of children are named after Neighbours characters. So it's a hugely influential soap opera, and I still watch it now. And one of the elements in the book I wanted was, because the character's Australian. I think that's obviously why Robyn has a bit of a crush on Autumn, because Robyn is a big Neighbours fan. But also it's how they bond. And one of the ways they first get to know each other is by watching a lunchtime episode together, because Robyn can't watch it with her at her grandmother's caravan. So Autumn lets Robyn watch it, and it's just the way they can kind of, a device for them to get to know each other and hang out together. And the cause of drama for them. So yeah, it was great to bring it in.
Episode with the wedding, with all the people that watched it, reminds me of Denise. Remember Luke and Laura from General Hospital? What was that, back in the 80s, right? How many people watched that episode? They were waiting for them to get married. Do you know that, Katie, or do you know about General Hospital?
I've heard of General Hospital and kind of some of the American soaps. Yeah,
it was something like that kind of a thing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it was a phenomenon. And I remember like ditching my last two classes, like I want to say almost every day of the week to get home to watch Days of Our Lives, because I love Bo and Hope, and their wedding was a big deal too. But the General Hospital was like, oh my God, like everybody talked about that. So it's kind of the same. Like we can totally relate to that part of it. That being a part of you. It's
and how important it is, and you can't miss an episode, and the impact of
and you couldn't. I think I remember one of my cousins had record everything on a VCR and watch it, because of school, but it was it's like the cornerstone of your childhood. It's there.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, you just, everybody knows it. And it is funny because I never knew what it was. I didn't know whether it was like a series of some sort. I didn't realize it was a soap opera. And soap operas here are filmed a lot like soap operas in the States. They're very, like, it feels like you're in the moment. Like it's like that. It doesn't. Now that I've seen a couple episodes, I realize, like, oh yeah, that's a true soap. Yeah, that's a
like it's quick. It's things come and go. It's has big events, and then they're kind of every day. And I think the difference with Neighbours to, like, say, British soaps is it's got that Australian wistfulness to it. So you've got the sunshine. It's a lot more humorous, I think, than the British soaps. It's less gritty. So I think it had this kind of fantasy for British people to go, oh, I could, live in Australia in the sunshine and be happy like they are.
So true. Like it's very different from EastEnders or Coronation Street or the long running nighttime ones that are on. Those are gritty. That's a good way to describe. They're very gritty.
Yeah, so it's a nice contrast and like a balance to
totally.
Those. Yeah.
But I mean, I was like, it's so on brand.
I'm sorry.
The
Australian shows in the UK, like, easily, or is it just like the same kind?
No, so we had two. We had Neighbours and Home and Away was the other soap. That was it until the advent of like Netflix and streaming. And I think now there's a lot more I think it also feels like Australian drama, and sitcoms have really developed in the last 5 or 6, well, 5 to 10 years. Like there's so much more now. So I think, yeah, with streaming services, it's there's more, but it was just those two shows really growing up.
But I noticed, like a lot of Australians watch BBC because I think they,
Hmm.
and now that they've been allowed to be in Eurovision, they
Yeah.
pay attention a little bit more to the British stuff. So yeah, I think it's come almost full circle.
Yeah, I think it's great that we've got rid of kind of geography when it comes to TV and film. Like, we want to watch stuff from all over the world, not be restricted to just where you happen to live. So I really like that part of kind of streaming services and networks bringing stuff in.
It's fantastic. It's like, it's weird to me that there's Netflix UK and then
Yeah.
Netflix US.
Yeah,
Someone will
yeah,
talk about something on Netflix and I'll go to find it and we don't have
yeah.
it. But, within a couple of weeks, we end up
I
getting
was
it.
It
just gonna
comes
ask
or it goes
that.
on another service, right?
Yeah, yes. Like White
Yeah.
Lotus. I was
Yeah.
so obsessed and I'm like, how am I going to get, this? And it was on Now TV.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it was like, oh my God, like that HBO Max doesn't transfer over, for me on something easily that I have already. So we ended up having to get Now TV because
Hmm.
I was
Yeah, that's what you can get a lot
blessed
of them.
completely. And then I happened to be home in the States, so I got to watch the finale on Sunday instead of waiting until Monday over here. Because that's another thing, like with social media, spoilers suck now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's
God, I
gotta be.
hate it. Yes, I
Yeah.
absolutely despise it. Like you got to stay up all day so you don't know what happened, and yeah,
Right, right.
yeah. But yeah, that was, I get it. Like I do, and I love that. Like even though we're seeing like a lot of like American stuff in Australia and stuff like that, they're also making things in different locations now that, I think it takes you away a little bit, from downtown LA or New York City. It's always, the same. But, Thailand, Hawaii, Italy, White Lotus was everywhere, and the same
Right.
thing. I was watching, shows all day long today and binging, I should say. I was binging on a ton of shows today.
You
But
rest up with your jet lag a little bit.
yeah, like
So
I was up so early to see Gemma off, and I was like napping like on and off, and it was like, whoo, this has been the longest 8 days to get rid of this. It's been crazy. But we had you over because yesterday was your birthday.
It was.
happy birthday.
Thanks. A big 4-5.
Big
Oh
4.
wow, you're a baby.
We can say that.
Oh
But
my God.
it was a self-care birthday, and I love that.
Oh
Yeah, it was. I didn't want to go big this year, so I
yeah.
had a haircut, had a massage, had a really nice like brunch with my mum and stepdad, and just, yeah, had a
Nice.
lovely day looking after myself, played some Fortnite, downloaded, what was the one you recommended? I forgot the
The
name of it.
Division, I know,
Yeah, The
tomorrow.
Division. Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna-
So yeah, just had a nice day hanging out and
Aw.
yeah, being
Perfect.
looked after.
I
Hmm.
think as
Are
you
you
get older,
still
that's all you want, isn't it? Like just
Hmm.
a normal, nice day without
Yeah,
a hoopla.
yeah, yeah,
are you
exactly.
still active with your softball team? You were playing on a softball team, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I'm not managing anymore, but we've just done our team selection, and I'm playing on what is called Raiders Green this year.
Hey,
It's a good team. We've got 7 teams now. We've added a new team this year as well.
yeah,
And season starts the 1st of May for us. So yeah, looking forward. We did well. We came third in our division last year, and I think we're hoping to maybe come first or second this year. That would be,
nice. Setting the goals,
yeah,
putting it out
yeah,
there,
Yep.
setting the intention.
Gotta,
And it's
gotta
fun
get
for you.
out there.
You
That's
just moved,
awesome.
right? Like, so now your softball is like a longer ride for you to get to.
Yeah, so I'm not in London anymore. I'm adjusting to rural life.
Rural,
But
rural.
it's figuring out what things I still want to be connected to in London, and what things I can kind of, I guess, stop doing. And I think I've decided that softball is one of the things that I'm not willing to retire from yet. So it's
That's
you
great.
just figure out a way to make it work. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Did
it's
you
true.
move from London for a reason? Did you want to move away from the city?
For me, it's about wanting to buy somewhere for myself, and I can't afford to do it in London. So,
Mm.
um, it's finding somewhere that I can afford to do it, but it's not too far. I think there's so many places that are commutable now. So, within the next few months, I'll be moving to West Sussex, which is and sort of very close to Gatwick Airport. So I think that'll be a good location to be able to get into town easily, but also it's really accessible to Brighton, which will be nice. And Crawley and West Sussex are also really developing their queer communities at the moment. So it's a good time, I think, to be moving to a kind of commuter town and building like a new social community as well.
Definitely. Does it, have you
Exciting.
heard, Crawley has a good pride?
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
Crawley Pride started, I think, 3 or 4 years ago. And me and my sister and my niece and nephew have been a few times, and it's really fun. It's in a park, and they fence it off, and they have a lovely stage with like local performers and drag acts, and kind of like kids performing. It's really family friendly, and you just like bring your chair and a picnic and
Yeah.
sit and watch. And then they have loads of stalls from like queer businesses and local businesses, and some face painting and food and drink. So it's just a lovely, if the weather's good, a lovely, nice day out, and it's really well attended. For the times we've been, it's been really busy, lots of people, and just really friendly and fun.
That was
That's
JD. That was the one I
exciting.
recommended to Carrie to go to.
Oh, okay.
She had like
Yeah.
kind of come out. She just didn't know what to do with herself or whatever. And I was like, I always heard good things about Crawley Pride as far as local community. Felt very
Yeah,
community
Yeah.
driven and family friendly because at that time,
yeah,
her boy was still little. So yeah,
yeah, cool.
I've heard really like nice things about it. So that's pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
and they've just got some funding to grow as well. So the organization that runs Pride secured some funding from the National Lottery so they can develop what they do more stuff,
Yeah.
and do more stuff around the area. So that's really
yeah.
exciting. And I'm like, well, of all the times to be moving somewhere,
Yeah.
this will be
Yeah.
it. Hopefully
Exactly.
I can get involved and volunteer with them, and yeah, bring my kind of knowledge and experience to help them grow.
That's
Definitely.
exciting. It sounds like you're moving to a place where it's welcoming. It's an LGBTQ plus friendly community,
Yeah,
so you don't have to go there and feel like you have a struggle. You can
yeah,
actually go
is
there
exactly.
to find friends and to find social life,
Hmm.
and that's really good. Is that where
Yeah.
you guys are looking, Denise? Is that
Hey,
near where? Oh,
very,
how
very
nice!
nearby, so it won't be that much of a trek for you. Yeah, yeah, but near there, definitely, because it's like West Sussex, and then we were looking in East Sussex, and Brighton's the only thing really, is in the middle of those two.
Yeah.
So Katie would live on maybe one side of Brighton, we would live on the other side of Brighton, but it's not far. So
Yeah,
yeah, we're looking forward to that.
that is nice. That's fun.
It's a lot of change this year, Katie. Holy cow.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm also finishing my PhD. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. So yeah, big change, but I think lots of other projects in the pipeline, and I'm just looking forward to settling down a little bit and putting my roots down. I feel like I've been living in a good way, living in a way that means I could travel and do lots of things abroad for the last few years, and it's time to just settle a bit and establish my own home and base, and then see what projects come up after that.
And you're still close to family, like you'll be close to your sister too, right? So that's
I mean, that was a huge priority, being close to particularly my niece and nephew while they're still young enough to want my company. My sister needs childcare help.
Boy, do I know that. I'm feeling that, Katie, now, because I have a 10-year-old. I mean, my nephew is 10, and there's 10 and 6. So the 6-year-old still wants to come over and sleep over and hang out. And all of a sudden, the 10-year-old, Jack, he doesn't want to come over anymore. It's like, what do you mean you don't want to come over? He plays video games. He's got his friends. He wants to go to play dates and stuff. And you're right. You need to grab that.
Yes, because at some point they'll become independent.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm developing my interest in video games so that we can play together. So we play Fortnite.
She's getting me hooked too. Like, yeah. Got her laptop over and gave me a lesson on Fortnite, and I was like, oh my God, holy cow. Like, this is all new to me. And then I was showing her the Division, and I mean, yeah, we're gonna be gamers. I feel it. We're gonna
So your book, so is it is it out? Are you like presenting at places and doing any signings?
Yeah, so it's coming 1st of May is like the official release date, and that's when the ebook, the Kindle and the other digital versions will be available. And then the paperback copies are on order, and the audiobook is currently being recorded, so it'll be available on Audible as well. There will be a launch event, so I am having discussions, but my university, Kingston, one of the research groups there has offered to host a launch along with another author. So I'm really excited. I don't have a date yet, but sometime hopefully in May we will do a nice thoughts event, and I'll be able to invite people, and do a signing, and sell some books.
That's awesome. I mean, yeah. How did you find you're obviously you're super comfortable with your publisher, right? So it's so important. Did you just submit, or did you know something about the publisher?
Yeah, I've been looking for an agent for a little while, and I got like some feedback, but generally the main one that was interested said, we like it, but can you make it more commercial? And I just didn't want to make it more commercial. So I think they went straighter.
Yeah.
And that wasn't what I wanted to do. I was like, no, I want to keep it as it is. So I kind of parked it for a bit, and then I'm a member of a few like lesbic and lesbian reading groups on Facebook, and this new to me but not new publisher called Affinity Rainbow Publications posted about some of their other books, and it just caught my attention. I was like, oh, that's great. They sound like they really support their authors and the books. So I obviously Googled them, looked at their website, and thought, okay, they seem like a really good family, but they said they were looking for contemporary, so not historical, lesbian romance. So I was like, oh, I don't know if they're going to want my book, but I'll send it anyway. And they said, it is against what they normally have, but they just really liked it, and could you see what I was trying to do. And I think, although you could argue my book is young adult because it's about kind of that coming of age, it's really written to people, my age and similar ages who experienced the 90s as a teenager or thereabouts. There's so much nostalgia that I think it will appeal to adult readers as well. So they happily accepted me, and they've been great. Really, I couldn't have a more supportive publisher, I don't think, because this is my first time doing anything like this. I was, I don't know the ins and outs really of publishing a book other than maybe formatting it and putting it on Amazon, but not really the whole business. So they've been so clear, transparent, guiding me through every step, bringing me into the community. They have a podcast and a newsletter as well, and letting me be part of that, answering all of my millions of questions and being really patient with me. And they just couldn't have made it an easier process, really.
That's great. Like you really just don't hear that often,
No, you don't. Like,
I know.
did you
No,
submit?
it's about the personal touch.
Yeah. Did you submit to like several publishers, or was it that you hit on this like right away?
Yeah, I
Home
I
run.
have submitted it to a few like British, like small indie presses. I just kind of got like a lot of those publishers only publish like 3 or 4 books a year, so it's hard to
Okay.
get onto the roster. Affinity Rainbow does 12 a year, they do like one a month. So they are always looking for new authors and want to keep um, the cycle of books coming out. So again, that was good for me because I feel like I'm part of a community, and they've got a loyal kind of readership and people that buy their books and want to know about their authors and things. So that also felt really good and kind of fun to be part of.
Yeah, you got to get a publisher that can do a little hand holding,
Yeah.
that will be patient with you and exactly like it's so many, like I have a friend that is writing kind of like a paper, like it's not long enough to be a book,
Hmm.
but she was asking me about submitting it around, and I said I don't really know for something like that, but you can always self-publish and whatnot. And then she wrote to me and said, I think I found the right one. This is the contract they sent me. I just have to send them money to, and I'm like, no, no, no,
Oh,
no, no, no,
No,
no,
yeah.
no, no.
no. Yeah.
Big
Magic
no.
So,
words.
yeah,
Sad.
there's a lot of scammy,
Mm,
you know, I guess
Yeah.
yeah,
factories, where they
yeah,
just scamming money and they're putting shit out and it's not good. So you really got to take the time, I think, and do your research and, trust your gut. That's a trust your gut. Um,
There's so many of those, Denise. I hear, especially that I guess you call it self-publishing. And I had just inquired for a friend for Thad's wife, Jean. She wanted to write a book about adult children that become estranged from their parents because she's going through that with her children not speaking to her, and she found a lot of people have there's many people with that same going through that same struggle. So I just looked online one day while she was in the office and I inquired to one place. They have not stopped bothering me. She
oh
changed her
no.
mind about it. She doesn't want to do it. And I told the guy initially, this wasn't even for me. I inquired for someone else. Well, and he kept asking me for her information. And I said, I cannot give you her information. I'll check with her. She'll get in touch with you. They're still sending me. So are you ready to publish the book? Are you ready to publish the book? And they, of course, want money, like Denise said, up
Yeah.
front, get it going. And it was like $1,500 was
Oh
the
my God.
starting number. Yep, that was a starting number. And God knows from there where they would go. But
Right.
yeah, it was like, and I'm still getting, I said, what do I have to do to get you people to stop calling me,
Oh my
But
God.
so,
Yeah.
I
that's
mean,
yeah, that's really sad to hear that people want to exploit, you know, the creative
the,
process and people wanting
Yeah.
to write like authentic
mhm.
like books and stories and personal things. Like there's someone there trying to exploit and make money before the book is even written or,
Yeah.
ready to go out into the
Yeah.
world.
And that's got to give you, that trigger in your gut telling you this isn't because, I think if anybody is putting the time and effort into writing, they need to put that same time and effort into researching a publishing house. You
Absolutely.
trust your gut. If it doesn't feel right, it's wrong. It's just that easy. It's just, if they're asking you for more than your
Yeah.
manuscript, then
Yeah.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Katie, how did you feel when the first you were saying you submitted it and they wanted to straight wash it a bit for marketing purposes? Did it feel weird to like stand your ground? Because like I caved immediately. I fucking caved when they asked me.
Did you?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Like I just wanted to get it done. Like I
Right.
a 3-book contract, and I'm like, I can't be fucking around here, you know. Like I
Yeah,
got.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
But
I
yeah, like when they wanted me to make it more urban,
Mm.
you know, like I just caved. I said I'm not comfortable because
Yeah.
I write what I know, and I don't know that life. Like I don't,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
you know. And they were like, "Oh, it doesn't matter, you know. We're, you know." It was now looking back, I go, "Oh, all right." It was about the diversity, and you know, so I get it, but like I wasn't comfortable doing it, and I just did it anyways. But you know, like you just stood your ground. Like that's fantastic.
Well, I mean, yeah, there was two things. One was, yeah, a little bit of laziness. Like it would have meant a lot of reworking, but equally, I just thought I really believe in the story as it is. There wasn't anything I wanted to change about it. I thought if I'd wanted to write it more commercially, I would have done it to start with. I
Right.
knew my vision was really clear for the
Yeah.
novel. I knew exactly what I wanted to write and how I wanted it to sound, and actually, I didn't want it to be more mainstream or more commercial. That wasn't ever my intention. So it just wasn't true to the book to do that
Yeah.
to it.
That's. I mean, that is really believing in your work. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because I think a lot of times we're vulnerable when we submit it and we want it to do well. So we're
Yeah.
taking, you know, all the constructive criticism on board,
Yeah.
you know, to make it what they want,
Well,
you know?
and this was an agent I really respected that I'd heard of lots, had what I felt was a good reputation. So I was also quite surprised that that was the feedback I got because they're generally known as a more representative, diverse, and inclusive agency.
Wow.
So it was surprising as well. And I thought it also helped me think this is like having sent it to a few agents and, you know, some of them going, oh yeah, it's good, but it's not for me. I thought, well, that's clearly what's going on in other people's minds too, is all they care about is can I sell it to a publisher?
Yeah.
That's their concern, and a big publisher.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
Because
know,
they're
so
getting something. They're getting something, right,
yeah,
from every sale. So yeah, they
yeah.
want it to be, you know, able to shove it
You
down.
know, they're looking for the big bestseller
Yeah,
books, and
exactly.
yeah.
But
Do
yeah, I
you
think.
have,
Go ahead, Jay.
I was going to say, do you have like aspirations to maybe make it into, because I love the whole premise of the story, like the twist of it, make it into a screenplay that it could be like maybe a TV movie or something. You know, like would they
I think
do that for you? Like if it become, you know, when it becomes the bestseller,
thank you.
do they help you
Um,
or
I'm definitely open to that. So, I mean, I've retained the rights for any adaptations, which is great. Um, and as someone who's dabbled in screenwriting and you know filmmaking, it's definitely been something on my mind. I I think I'm initially wondering whether I can do a theatre adaptation.
oh,
Um, so maybe to stage it because
right,
it's got the benefit of a kind of very contained location
Right,
and a
right.
small cast of
yeah,
characters. It could potentially work for the stage.
right,
That said, I think it could also be, you know, a beautiful indie film or TV series, kind of with that, like bringing the 90s, you know, to life.
yes.
The 90s are so in at the moment, and
Oh, they
um,
are.
you
The
know,
music,
there's definitely something there. I think, yeah, the music and
yeah,
the kind of
because
pop
with a,
culture.
exactly with a play, you could now bring that 90s music into it
Mm,
and really, bring that feel of
And
nostalgia.
music plays a big part into the story as well. So that like the covers, the mixtape,
Oh,
and
right.
like that's like Robyn, the main character, is often on her Walkman, and
Oh,
Autumn makes her, I won't say too much, but makes her a poignant, shall we say, mixtape that
oh,
causes some tension between them. And so, yeah, music massively plays into the story. And when I was writing, I created a 1997 playlist
wow.
Oh,
that I would
cool.
have on when I was doing the writing to kind of take me
Oh,
back to those
appreciate.
times.
That's
See, now,
awesome.
you know me, Denise. Now I'm going to the next step, the soundtrack. So the
Yeah,
book, the play, and the
yeah,
soundtrack.
absolutely. So at the end, there's a list of some of the songs that were on my playlist. So yeah, there's definitely soundtrack potential.
That's so
So what
cool.
kind of songs were on that list that you were listening to inspire when you were
Well,
writing?
so I don't want to say I can't say all of them because I don't want to give away what happens kind of with the
Oh,
music and
okay.
the story. But um, things like Wonderwall by Oasis.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Um, what else was there?
Biggest hit in Britain, man.
Yeah, just like Britpop, like Skunk Anansie.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, like so I'm kind of into the like guitar-y music, like some Nirvana.
wow.
Um, yeah, yeah.
Very,
Excellent.
I can't wait. Oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait to see the play now too.
I was just going to ask you, Katie, have you ever seen the play Last Summer at Bluefish Cove?
I have not.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I remember reading the play and wanting to
Mhm.
do it at my, I worked in like local theater back in Florida
Mhm.
and I wanted to do it. But of course, because it was an old Jewish cinema, they were like, no, this has lesbian themes. But now,
Oh,
like, it makes the circuit, because there's LGBTQ theater groups out there now. So it's kind of like come back. And I'm like, I've never seen the live performance of it, but I've read the play. And I
I'm gonna
love,
look it up. That sounds
yeah,
great.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good. But I was gonna ask you to tell us a little bit about pre-ordering the book.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's available on Amazon for Kindle at the moment, but it will be available for paperback um, very soon. It's also on Smashwords, Barnes and Noble in the States, and the Affinity Rainbow Publications website. You can also order various ebook reader versions. So it's not just Kindle, it's I think it's on Smashwords as well. So you can get it for any digital reading device. And then yes, paperback, and then it'll be on Audible as
Excellent.
well.
Did
Oh,
you
wow.
did you have a
Yeah.
hand in selecting who was going to do the reading for your Audible
I
book?
did. I did
Question.
Know
indeed.
that person?
Hmm?
Do we know that
Sorry.
person?
No, it's someone I know through my friend Bryn. Um, and through some of the other filming stuff that I do. So um, yeah, I'm really pleased. And
Oh,
when I heard her audition, um, I cried because it was just
oh,
incredible to hear someone else reading the words. So yeah,
excellent.
You
That's
consider reading it yourself? Doing the Audible yourself?
I for a minute, yes, but having heard someone else do it, they just bring like a new, I can't describe it, just not
Yeah.
sort of an interpretation or the reading of it is just better than I could have done and better than I could have imagined. It just gives it a life outside of me, and I think that's definitely for the better.
that's way
This
cool.
exciting. Can I ask, like, when you do, so when you publish the book and you're with a publisher, now you're doing the Audible, do you
Mhm.
pay the person to do the reading, or does the publisher cover all of those expenses and take
Well,
that back to
yeah,
themselves?
there's different options. I mean, yes, the publisher should pay if there's upfront costs, but through Audible, you can also do profit share with the narrator. So they don't get an upfront cost, but they get, I think it's 50% of the royalties. So that's, the publisher has a contract with the narrator to do that. But all of that's by negotiation, and different narrators will have different kind of deal points that they want.
Yeah, I was wondering how that worked.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. Well, my friend, I am so proud of you, and what a stellar
Thank you.
birthday, and then having you on the podcast to talk about
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited for you. It's crazy. I hope you enjoyed your tea cakes.
Oh, I did. Still got 1 or 2 left, but most of them are gone.
Really? Well done, you.
I cannot wait to get a copy. Can I get that from Amazon here in the States?
It's on Amazon US. Yeah.
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Thanks for having me, both of you. It's been lovely.
I won't keep you up. It's so late here. You stayed up. But thank you so much, and we'll be in touch because I'm bored, and I will see you in the game.
Yes, let's play some games.
Yes. Okay. Have a good night.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
We